Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave.
Good, y'all. Teofimo Lopez has officially lost his mind and crashed out. So he made a post yesterday on Instagram, right? And in the comment section, a fan said, "Horrible fight against Shakur. Looks like he was 10 levels above you." So Teo responded and said, "All designed. Happy to make it look the way I needed it to look." So Teofimo Lopez is basically claiming that his fight with Shakur Tupac Stevenson was rigged. He's claiming that this was a script and he pretty much just played his role in the script, right? Now, the reason why so many people are going to believe this is because a lot of people feel like sports as a whole is rigged, right? And I see why, right? Like a lot of people, like they think the NFL is rigged. They think the NBA is rigged. They think boxing is rigged, right? We heard stories about the mob, getting involved into the sport of boxing and fixing fights. So there is some, dirty stuff that goes in with sports all around the world, right? But with this specific fight, Teofimo Lopez is being delusional because, he can't accept the fact that he got beat up by belt to ass from Shakur. His way of coping with that, his way of dealing with that, his way of not accepting the fact that, he just wasn't as good as he thought he was going up against Shakur. This is his way of, dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's sad, man. I think it's sad. Remember, Teo's dad said that Teo's dad was in the corner saying, "Bro, you're going to hate yourself after this fight. You're not listening to me. You're not doing what I'm telling you to do. If you don't get it together, you're going to hate yourself after this fight." And it looks like what Teo's dad said is true, man. It looks like Teo, the fact that he hasn't even really accepted the loss yet, it goes to show that, Teo is dealing with some mental issues right now. And it's normal, right? It's normal. Like, nobody likes to lose, right? I don't think there's any man out there that enjoys losing. But to Teofimo Lopez, bro, keep your head up. This isn't the first time you lost. And that's another thing. I notice a lot of people, they're acting like this is the first time Teo has lost, bro. This is not the first time Teo has lost a fight or had a controversial fight that people thought he lost, okay? You got the George Kambosos fight where he got dropped and he lost by split decision, okay? Now, there was a lot of excuses from Teo and his dad as to why he lost that fight. But, what made it look good for them is the fact that George Kambosos lost almost all of his fights after that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people act like the George Kambosos fight didn't even happen. But then you have the fight with Sandor Martin, where Teo was dropped again, and people feel like Sandor Martin was robbed in that fight. People feel like Teo lost that fight as well. You got the Jermaine Ortiz fight, where people feel like Teo lost that fight. So this isn't the first, second, or third time that Teo has had a tough fight that he didn't convincingly win, okay? And Teo, you can bounce back from this, bro. I think the number one thing that you need to do is you need to get a new trainer, okay? I think your father has taken you as far as he can in this sport, but if you want to continue to be recognized as an elite boxer, if you want to bounce back, if you want to move up to 147 and become a champ at that division, you are going to have to get a new trainer, bro. You're still young enough to where, you getting a new trainer right now makes perfect sense. I think Teo's only 27, 28 years old. You're not even 30 yet. You literally just hit your prime. You don't want to be like Deontay Wilder to where, you don't switch trainers until you're in your mid 30s, right? Like, remember when the first Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight, Deontay Wilder fired Mark Breland because he threw in the towel and pretty much saved his life. And then what happened after that, right? What happened when Deontay Wilder got that new trainer, Malik Scott, that he already beat himself? This man went and hired a trainer that he beat himself in the pros. And Deontay Wilder, he lost every fight with Malik Scott. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, bro, I think Teo should definitely get a new trainer. I would like to see him work with a trainer like, maybe Eddie Reynoso, get back with Canelo's team, or, I would like to see him work with Mikey Garcia's dad, who's still training, who's still a phenomenal trainer. His name is Robert Garcia. He's one of the best trainers in boxing. There's a lot of things Teo could do. Teo could even reach out And listen, if he could apologize to Terrence Crawford properly, you know, we could see a situation where Bomac ends up training Tio. There's a lot of ways he can go as far as getting a new trainer. But, you know, sticking with Teofimo Sr. is the worst thing Tio can do, okay? Look at Danny Garcia, right? Because Danny Garcia kept his father as his trainer for his entire career, right? Danny Garcia lost all of his biggest fights. You know, he lost to Sean Porter. He lost to Keith Thurman. He lost to Errol Spence, right? He lost to Israelandi Laurel, who was like 40-something years old at the time, right? And Brian Norman Jr., a lot of people gave Brian Norman Jr. a lot of flack for getting rid of his dad as his trainer after he lost to Devin the Dream Haney. But at the end of the day, bro, I think Brian Norman Jr. made the right decision. Now he's being trained by Derek James, who has had multiple champions that he's trained. He trained Anthony Joshua. He trained Errol Spence. He trained one of the Charlo brothers. You know, say what you want about Derek James, but he is a solidified trainer that, you know, builds champions. So I think that's a good look for Brian Norman Jr. But Tio, don't beat yourself up. Don't start, you know, crashing out and leaving delusional comments like this, bro, because the only thing that you're doing is you're going to make people just clown you even harder. What you need to do is, bro, accept the loss 100%, accept the fact that Shakur was better than you, and move on. You will bounce back, bro. You know what I'm saying? You do have the ability to become champion again, whether it's at 140 or 147. At the end of the day, you know, you gave the fans the fight that we all wanted to see. You didn't have to fight Shakur. You chose to fight Shakur. And, you know, one person has to lose, bro. Shakur is the best defensive boxer in the sport of boxing right now. Okay, Shakur is, you know, a top 3 most skilled boxer in the world right now. So losing to Shakur Stevenson is not a bad thing. It's not. If anything, it should let Tio know that he has to work harder. He has to get better. He has to improve. And you guys are young enough to where, you know, if Tio can bounce back and go on a winning streak, we could possibly see a Shakur Tio rematch. That could happen. So shout out to Teofimo Lopez, man. I don't think right now was the time to make fun of Teofimo Lopez. I think we should actually show some support to Teofimo Lopez, because in all actuality, guys, this is why we don't get the fights that we want in boxing. You guys wonder why Gervonta Tank Davis won't fight Shakur. You wonder why Tank won't rematch Lamar Roach. You wonder why Tank won't fight Devin Haney. Because these boxers know that when they lose, the fans turn on them. You know, the fans turn on them, bro. You guys go from loving these boxers to where when they get their first or second loss, the entire sport turns their back on these boxers, bro. To the point where it's like the boxers feel like, why should I make this fight happen when if I lose, everybody's going to clown me. Everybody's going to hate me. All of my fans are going to switch up on me. So we got to stop doing that in the sport of boxing. Some of the greatest boxers of all time have had multiple losses, right? Mike Tyson had multiple losses. Muhammad Ali had multiple losses. Roy Jones Jr. had multiple losses, right? Like, this is normal, bro. Like, it wasn't until Floyd Mayweather went 50-0 that everybody felt like they got to be undefeated to be the best. That's cap, bro. That's, you know, Floyd Mayweather is a once-in-a-lifetime type of fighter, okay? So with that being said, it's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, hype the video, leave a comment. I'm out.
Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave.
Welcome to Stay Wavy TV.